Hello, everybody. Renee here, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And I've got another paper pumpkin, and I'm all excited to show you these two alternates that I made. So we are going to go live on Facebook. So this will just take a moment and we'll switch to the correct screen, which is down here. All right. And I will see you in just a second. So, we're going to do a paper pumpkin this morning. It is early. I'm glad to see. If some people join me, I'll be happy, but no problems here if you can't. Um, just watch the replay and comment what you think about my alternates on this paper pumpkin. But again, I'm on my group page, Renee's Paper Crafts, not on my or my yeah, my group feed, I guess is best, is what you say, instead of my page, which is Renee's Paper Crafts 1.0. But I will go ahead and link it, of course, but it's too bad that it went to the group and not the page. Not sure why. We'll find out more later, but I'm going to go with this. All right. So it is Wednesday morning. It is not quite 9 o'clock, but I'm going to show you some alternates here that I'm really excited about. So, first of all, let's look at the kit. This is the paper pumpkin kit that came for this month. Um, notes, uh, notes, no, sweet. It's called Sweet Springtime. That's what it's called. And I'm going to show you what it holds inside a very cute box, great gift box for Easter. And so one of the things that's in here is the stamp set. And now they added this little paper piece that shows you what's in there, which is really nice so that you can really see it and the sizes of everything, which is really nice. So the thing here is that there it is. I've already taken things on and off, so they're a little backwards, but there it is. And so what I did is I took some double-sided tape and I put it on these edges right here because I think this is a great idea. And I'm going to pull that double-sided tape off like that and like this. See here. I'm going to use this now to hold my stamp set, which is going to make that so much easier. I'm going to close that up like that, right? And now it'll hold my stamp set, which will make it so much easier. And of course, I could put this in a binder. I could put all of these in a binder, and there you go. So that's what I thought I would do with this, and now I won't lose it as easily. Isn't that great? So this is a new addition to the paper pumpkin. So next, what we have, I'm just going to show you the extras first. We have our early espresso stamp set. As usual, we have our glue dots and we have our, what do we call it, dimensionals. Then we have some tear and tape and we have some twine. And the twine is a silkier twine. It looks like linen, but it's not. It's a nice silky goldish twine, has a gold tinge to it. Might even be the wheat color, because that wheat has a touch of, called wild wheat, has a touch of gold in it. It's a nice soft and thicker twine. I like it. So we had those items. I'm going to keep that there. Then what we have is, of course, the insert, which tells you all the information of what you get, gives you alternate items to build. And then here, of course, shows you the three different pieces. Now, what I did is I turned these boxes into a card and I used this as my base card. So these two pieces made one card. And then I used all the pieces for, oh, no, no, no. excuse me, this card. It's for this card that I used the boxes, excuse me. And so for these two sets, okay, all the additional embellishments and everything I used together to make a card with that. All right. So here you had 3 of these were given to you. 3 of these were given to you. So I have the extra little daffodil right over here. So 3 sheets and 3 sheets. And this I used for, again, and the bunny I used for this card with this. So you can see everything here. Here are labels. You actually end up with 5 daffodils, 2 rabbits, this, and this right here is comes off and will be added to the card over here. So you'll see. So there's actually 1, 2, 3 pieces here for you. All right. So let's get started. Okay. So, so here is the box. And I am going to keep one of the boxes available at all times in my stash because with this, I can build my own milk carton box. So here are basically your directions. There's always great templates here. So remember, whenever you get a kit, you might want to keep one of them as a template. And so I will do that for that one. I'm going to keep this out to explain something. Then here is your card. The nice thing with this card, and I'm going to show you here, this stamp set, or this bundle actually that's in the mini Excellent Eggs, has a die that cuts a slit. And I'm going to explain that, how you can use that, all right, with the card that we're going to make. All right. And so I did it by hand. So if you didn't have this set, you can do it. But this would cut out a great slit. This Excellent Egg set is wonderful. They're beautiful. And you'll see these. Okay. And this is our slit maker, which is fabulous. All right. And I use this egg and this egg. I used this in another card I showed you a bit ago. And here's our little bunny die cut, and these will cut out this will cut this and this cut out parts of an egg so you can decorate an egg. So I just think it's wonderful. But I use these 2 pieces for one of the alternate cards. So one of the alternate cards uses simply the set, and then the other card brings in other items. All right. So I think we've seen that. This is the last of the cards. It is a long card. It's sweet, and it turns out a great alternate. So we're going to put these here. And I put this over here just in case, because I'm going to need this in a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the cards. So for the long card, as I said, I used the box. Okay, this is what we're going to come up with. This is our alternate. Very cute. I'm going to explain how this is made. All right, using the pieces only from the kit. All right, quite fun. All right, and this is from the box, the milk carton box, and the one long card. That's the pieces. All right, and then my second card is this. And here we have this that pulls out. And on the back side, we have a little note. There's no bunny like you. And this uses that set Excellent Eggs, that bundle. All right. Also, I'm going to show you what this card makes. All right, uses, excuse me. I used also in this, I used the Sweet Dots Memories and More card envelopes. This is free with a $50 purchase right now in celebration. I also used the foam adhesive strips, and I also used these embellishments for our card that we're making today. I use the adhesive back hearts and flowers embellishments, which I really, really love. And so those are some of the things that I used besides the kit materials. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to build first the card that comes simply from the kit and highlight that. All right. So we'll put that over here and here, and we'll look at the pieces for that kit. All right. So I had to break up the box. Here's all these pieces here. Here's our beautiful little envelope. Here is our card. And what I did is folded it inside out and then folded it in half. All right. And so then you get this. Now, this does not look very pretty. I agree. But once it's decorated, it looks very nice and very appropriate. I did check out other parts of that stamp set just so that you can see. So what happened here is I thought, well, maybe the 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 flowers would look good as the background. This is one of the stamps of the kit. I'll show you how I do that. But when I did that, I felt that looked really, really busy, way too busy. So I didn't like that. I preferred the subtleness of this, just a hint in the background. And we'll discuss how that's done in a second. And then I looked at the little chicks to see how that would. So you had a bunny stamp, you have a chick stamp, and you have the flower stamp besides the words. There they are. And so I used the flowers and the chick, and I thought the chick did work. All right. But I do like this as a background better. And especially since it's going to use one of the pieces after I remove the die cut. So this becomes my template to go ahead and use a dauber, okay, or a brush or a sponge to go ahead and place this down and simply put it in the ink and make my little flower background. And that's all I did. I just brushed it on. And so that's all you have to do that. All right. You can use a cut up homemade sponge if you need to, but the daubers are great. And of course, these brushes are fabulous. So, and you just wash them off with water and soap and let them dry and use them with a different color. They're just so handy. I did like that. I like that as a cleaner look, but once you build the card, it looks great. So we'll see. We'll see at the end if I do add this. This for sure not. I think that's way too busy. So I just wanted to show you that, some alternates to that. Okay, so basically what we did, again, we took the card inside out, folded it in half, and then daubered these on. And then I simply went ahead and used a little of the brown and just took the brush and put it overall the page. Now, the next thing I did, which is important for you to see, is how I cut up the box. I'm just going to show you. I cut up this box completely. I used the score lines that they gave me. I used the score lines and just cut across here, cut across here, cut across here. And then I started cutting across here and here. But what I did is since I had these strips, I took the individual parts and cut it off and then cut it off. All right. And then I cut these off. Right. So all of a sudden I have a bunch of pieces. All right. So as you see here, since I cut that whole strip, I have all of that. I cut these completely apart. So I had four of them. Actually, I had five because I had an extra one left over. So I just cut what I needed and I have two left. Then when I cut the white part off, which I do use these parts. Okay, these could be labels. This I use for the inside of the card. That's that. I straighten it up and we'll talk about that. I use those pieces. Then I cut these, and the pieces I use are the ones with the score line for the card because I can put them right here and I have this coming in there, so it works really well. So I used these that have score lines and kept the ones that don't have score lines for something else. So those are aside. So those three work. This I use again to sponge these on. So that was important. Now, this is one of the pieces, and I went ahead and cut it out by hand. When I do this, I take either an X-Acto knife and make a hole and then cut, or I take the scissors and make a hole and then cut it out. Okay, slowly but surely. All right, so that'll work. So that's where my chick comes. I cut this straight. Because it's not straight, you'll have to pay attention and cut it to 2¼ by 2¼ But even if it doesn't work out for you as straight, you don't have to worry because you can hide it with this underneath if you're not that good at that. But it's 2¼ by 2¼ and then this cut out. Now, what I did do, which is kind of fun, is this is the actual label, correct, that goes here. But I took the cutout and I went ahead and took a piece of paper and then took some yellow ink that I had and went ahead and brushed the Daffodil Delight in here and then cut it out. And cut it out. And now it's my label. Now I can use the label as you see, but I just decided to make one a little different and use the yellow just to see how that looks. Just to show you that never get rid of these because now you have a die for some really fancy labels. And so this becomes important. And then here, besides that circle, here are more daffodil masks for you. And then here's even a rabbit mask. So remember that your kit can be used in many, many ways. All right. So these are the pieces. As you see, I stamp everything already and do everything so I can go fairly quickly since I'm fairly slow at this stuff. So what I'm going to do first is, again, when you do this card, you do want to lay it down, but because you want that kind of centered, but what I'd want it all the way to the end and centered, but I know that I'm only going to do the bottom half. I'm only going to glue the bottom half. So you need to remember that. And when I do this, I do point the arrow outward. And I'm only going to do the bottom half. And I'm going to center this and take it all the way to the edge. And so this was just simply cut out. This was just simply cut out. And that's all. All right. So isn't that simple? And again, I want to make sure that my point is pointing outward. So you see, there it is. There it is, see? And so I'm just going to do my bottom half. Just put some glue on that. Center that piece on my card. Make sure it goes all the way to the edge. Opa. Without moving it too much. That's the problem sometimes. There you go. You're going to make sure they're kind of even. Looks a little bit tall still. I could use my board. My beautiful glass mat. All right, that looks even. That looks even. Okay. And so there we go there. Now these were actually, when you cut them out, they're 2.5 by 2.5. They're about 2.5 by 2.5. And I changed them to 2.25 by 2.25. And all I'm going to do again is simply go ahead and do the bottom part only. So here it's this side. So I'm going to make sure I know what side I'm doing. So it's this side right here. So I'm going to get that. Just put a little bit on that side. Then I actually put it right to the edge and make sure that it's centered as well here. It needs to be centered. Make sure that it doesn't go beyond the edges of the card, and that'll be fine. And same here. There you go. There you go. There you go. And then this is going to come right here in between. Again, bottom. And center. Now, isn't that something? All right, so there you go. You already have that already done. Yes, that worked well. Just make sure they're low enough. That one seems to be a little high. Oh, it moved. There you go. There it is. Yes. Yeah, it's all right. Good. Okay. So then on my front, again, these are just all the pieces that were here. And you can go ahead and do this any way you like. Kind of put it in the center. So since most of this is touching, this is the center. This is over here and over here. That's the center. Those are all kind of touching. You don't want it to go beyond the card. You see how nice that looks like that with that background? Now, if we took that rabbit, I mean, not the rabbit, but the chicks. Well, if you took the chicks, would you prefer that? That you'll have to decide. I still prefer the flowers. A little bit of glue up here, but I'll get that in a second. Some glue up here. All right, so there you go there. Yes. So now all you have to do is put your little bunny in here. Of course, we're going to use dimensionals for the bunny. For some reason today, all of a sudden, I have a little bit of a migraine happening. Ugh, not so good. They will go away with medication pretty easily. All I have to do is take a Tylenol and ibuprofen, and I'm in great shape. But since I'm doing this first, we'll do this. And there you go. That's the whole front. Isn't that cute? So when they get their card, this is what they'll see. That cute? Very easy. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place this in the center of our card. And actually, I think I went pretty high because this goes pretty high. So I did that pretty high. And so what I'm going to do is, this is really such a great and easy card. You just want to make sure you kind of center it. Then my 2¼ by 2¼ again. And the way I cut that, I just kind of straightened it out as much as possible. Make sure that's straight. Bring it down just a little bit, and then I'm going to glue that down. And that's where you can put your love and everything else. And I just straightened it out with my cutter and made sure it was about 2½ by 2½. Now with my season's greetings, all I'm going to do is put that right there. And what I did is I put it, if you notice, on this one, I put it a little bit to the right, okay? Because of the chicks are coming in. So you want that all centered. And so you want something like that. I decided to go with the yellow, so I'm going to do that. Now, when I do these, this side was a little high, so I redid the other side. But what I do is, whenever I do this, I make sure I get a flat surface across because I want to catch it. And I put it fairly high because I'm going to catch that fold there. And that's going to be important to me. And we can put one here and one here. And then we should be good. I'm going to put it a little bit over here. I am going to go pretty low. And then I'm going to put the chicks right there as well. And I'm going to put the chicks on. Isn't this an easy card? There is some cutting. There's definitely some cutting, but you can do it all. Not too difficult. And there you go. And there you go. There's your card. Isn't that great? There's your card. This is how it comes, right? And then there you go. I think they're darling. All right. So this is your first alternate. Now let's look at that second alternate. Remove this. I love my glass mat. I'm going to need a few things, so we'll see how that works. Okay. So this is my second alternate. And again, here are this, and then over here. And so that's really cute. Happy Easter. Again, there you go. So just so that you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. So we can take it down just a little bit. So that's kind of in your view. We're going to move these away for a future card. And that can go there. Maybe I'll just do it like that, so at least you can see it, even though it's, yeah, like that. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you what I did do. I'm going to use the other cards and more. These are beautiful cards. Okay, so what I did, let's see what I did. I took the card. Now, I took the card and split it in half using the score line, right? And with this one, I went ahead and I cut it and used it as a background. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to save this and I can use it for obviously something else, which would be great, another background. All right, so that is going to get saved. Then what I did is I cut out by hand. Again, I went ahead and put a hole in. All right, and it is not pretty. There's no doubt this is not pretty. This was hard cutting. And I went ahead and cut, but you won't see any of this, okay, at the end. First of all, this background gets hidden by the eggs or whatever you put there. Okay, you can put the bunny from the kit in here and put that in the background. You can do a chick and cut him out and put him on the background. So this all does disappear. It is tricky cutting and it does take patience, but it's just a scissors and going around. I made some mistakes, but they'll all be hidden at the end because of how I do this. So so when you do this, you see here on that background, you are going to be gluing those eggs or something in that background. So that hides that area. And then on the front, you're going to take your daffodil die cuts and put them in the front. And it looks very, very cute. And you have no idea. Yes? Okay. The other thing is if you do have this set, or if you're thinking about this set, it's so much easier just to cut it out. But I wanted to not use too many of the die cuts and show you that you could do it by hand and it would work. All right. And of course, this would work very easily right here. Yes? All right. So next, what I did do is I did use the adhesive strips. You can use the dimensionals, which I used on this one was the dimensionals, but I did do the adhesive strips here. I am going to use the frame on this. That is part of the kit. And I'm going to go ahead and I use the tear and tape. I did cut the tear and tape in half slowly but surely because the tear and tape was a little bit too thick. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that tear and tape. Now, the tear and tape, which is always a little bit of a challenge. There you go, especially if it's thin. So there's one. There's the other. There's another piece. There's another piece. So I just cut it in half. And I always clean my scissors off after I do that. I always clean my scissors off with an alcohol wipe. Alcohol wipes have become my best friend, and I use them a lot for just about everything. And in crafting, I use them quite often. So I think that's okay. I don't think that's anything. Okay, so before I put that on, I decided I'm going to probably put my head in here. Sorry about that. All right, but I have to get this straight on. So to get that straight on, oh, I forgot one of the tear and tapes. Yes, I forgot one of the tear and tapes. There you go. The bottom one. There you go. I got that on there. That's perfect. So, oh no. Oh no. So I did put him off a little bit wrong. You see that? So what I'm going to do, no mistake is the end of it all. So I'm just going to go ahead. That's going to be fine. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off, which is just fine. There you go. And there it is. Perfect. Now, instead of using the other background, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the frame. Yes? And so all I'm going to do is remove these strips that I put on here instead of the dimensionals. And then I'm going to put this fairly high. Because I do want that. Yes, that's fine. See, there you go. And it's nice and popped up. So now you'll be able to go ahead and put this in here. All right. So you'll be able to put your egg in here. And we're going to get this all fixed up, as you're going to see in just a second. And you can put your egg right in there. Okay. And this egg, again, has those sweet embellishments right here. All right. So one of the first things I do to cover up that background is I'm going to go ahead and put this Easter egg. I only did one Easter egg for this one. And what I do is I use the die cut and then I trace the die and I actually then cut out the egg by hand to give it a background. Okay, that's all I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead then and so what did I use to do this is I used the envelope. I cut up one of the envelopes and used the envelope to make these eggs. And the nice thing with this is that you're just going to go ahead and put it right here at the edge and put him right up there. And there he goes. All right, there's that one. Now we're going to fix up our front. And to do that, we are going to be using our dies, our little dies. And we're going to be using them one at a time. And we're just going to glue them since they're the daffodils, and that's how they did it on but you just glue them on the bottom half. So I'm going to glue it here on this ear and some on here. And so that's how that's going to work. So I'm going to hold that up and I'm going to glue that daffodil upwards that way. And there you go there. And that glue just gets glued on this part. All right. So let me go ahead and find those daffodil pieces. And let's see, I'm going to use those daffodil pieces. And this one, I'm going to use this way. And you just kind of go through and decide how you're going to put them on. so that they work for you. And I'm going to do that on this one this way. I believe that will work. I might choose a bigger one, the center one, but we'll see. Since these are all the same size, I'm going to go ahead and use the bigger one for the center. Since I need more coverage here. And I'm just going to go here and just take it and put it right there. So I see these two. This one. So, oh, sorry. Going here and here, since I moved that, I should move that up here. Sorry. And what I'm going to do again is what you want to do is your glue is going to be, let me see, let me make sure I did that right. One is going to go, I think what I'm going to do is I did not do that one as right as I like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him and put him here. Put him here. That's good. Yes, that's good. There, that's that one. Now we're going to figure out this centerpiece. I'm going to put one right there. And then I'm going to put another one in. So I'm going to take that and go here. And move him over like that. And there you go there. So these are just free again. These are just free so that your egg can fit in there. So you're just gluing it down, right? And this slit I did make a little smaller, so that's kind of good. So only the 2 eggs, so that's good. So you're seeing how that's working. And then finally, I'm going to put one right here, right in between. And I can see here that I can do this. And I can do that and that. That seemed to work. That's going to go on both of those edges. And so that's going to go here and here. Now I have plenty of extra. I have plenty of extra flowers if I want. I can put one down here, or I can still put one right here if I wanted to. Right here. And that would make a whole array, which I could do. And I could pop him up if I wanted to. I'm fine with these edges. It's more here, but it would work, actually. I probably should because I think it would work better. And I'm going to pop him up so that he pops up over here and put him just like that. Just popping it all up, and all of these are nicely popped up. You don't have any bad little things sticking out from the cut. You also notice that the little bunny is kind of, his ears are hidden behind the daffodils, which is really sweet. And so this card really works out very well. You probably could cut it better than I can. My cutting skills sometimes that way are difficult. Then all I did was, again, I decided I would use the yellow instead of the original by simply sponging and cutting out, which is great. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on dimensionals. And then a little glue will come here just to glue it onto that frame. Here we go. There's just the right amount of space left at the bottom for this. And that's what I like about this card by using the cards and more. You can pretty much, so when I cut the front, I didn't tell you that, it's 4 by 5 1/4. Sorry, the front is 4 by 5 1/4. The colors that I used on this egg are pretty much Fruity Flamingo, Calypso Coral, and the light pumpkin pie blends. And so, and then what I did this time, instead of gluing, so this piece, of course, I glued together for this one over here. But this piece, what I decided to do is I kept it free. So just to give you an idea that you could go ahead and have the note on the inside versus the back, which is a cute idea as well. And so there we go. And there is your bunny card. I think it works well. I would stamp a little bunny in there as well. It's a nice sturdy card. It's very attractive. As you can see, it works out really, really well, even though you cut it out versus using a die. Now, if you have dies, you can use all kinds of dies. You might have a stem die that'll cut out a hole for you. You know, it doesn't have to be just a slit. You can cut out a hole. You know, like a thin branch. If you have a thin branch, it's just a branch, you can use that to go ahead and die cut that. Or a stem from another set, that'll work. But this Excellent Eggs is a beautiful, beautiful set and works really well with this. So these are my alternates. Um, I hope that you enjoyed them. I hope they inspired you. Here's just a die. Here's just me sponging one and then cutting it out also. So these are so fun to do. And I love these paper pumpkin kits. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment. I would love to see any comments that you might have. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye now and try to figure out what my issue is with my Facebook page. Maybe there's this new thing called channel. Maybe I need to be on a certain channel. We'll find that out in the future. All right. Have a great day, and I'll be talking to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.